Hi, welcome to another Penny's Crafts Creations video. Today I am working on some little notebooks that I'm going to be throwing into a rubber ducky gift basket. And here I've done two already. These are what they look like. And this is vinyl from Cricut. It doesn't necessarily have to be cut perfectly. And then I rubber stamped them. And today is love and today is hope. And the next one will be today is calm. So my color scheme for the basket is orange and yellow. So I'm going with an orange notepad on the inside. And I got the notepad from this. This is a note pack that you can get from Dollar Tree. And they separate very easily at the cardboard. And I like to have a cardboard front. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What I do is I use my ATG gun and I go really slowly around the outside. I find if I go faster that it tends to rip and the glue will separate. So I go really slowly and then I do an X across the back. So it looks like this. Then I'm going to take that and put it onto another piece of cardboard, and I'm not worried about getting it lined up perfectly. And I just push down with it and take my bone folder and go through. And then it has like this. I like to take my scissors and cut off the excess. And when I get to the top, I'm just going to cut out at an angle. And doing the other side, I will cut in on an angle and just cut down that side. And those will go into my scrap paper basket. And then I take my bone folder and I go across the top here. And the reason I'm doing that is it will give it a better fold. And then just fold that like that and give it a nice firm pressing there. And then the other side's going to look like this. So I'm going to take my scissors again and just cut down around the outsides. And you can use a X-Acto knife or the finger blades to do that as well, but I prefer using the scissors. I think they works a little bit quicker and it doesn't mess up as much. So those will go in my scrap basket. So that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to add the paper, and I'm going to do this in 3 steps. The first step is going to be putting the glue with my ATG gun again around the outsides. And doing the X again. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to try and get it as close to the edge of my paper as I can on one side. I'm going to leave just a little overhang, just a slight one. And then I'm going to burnish that down as well. And then the same thing I did before, I'm going to go through and I'm going to score that. Now you can go through and cut your excess now if you'd like, but I like to wait until the end. Then I'm going to take my ATG gun and get as close to that edge as I possibly can on the top part. And then I'm going to apply it to the cardboard, not the paper, just the cardboard, around the edges again. And try to get as close to the edge as I possibly can. And I'm going to do that X again. And then I'm going to very slowly work that paper up to that edge to give it the top. And then slowly again work my way down. And then go through and burnish it again. And do the top as well. Then you're left with it looking like this. So again, just take your scissors and go through. And cut away that excess. All around the edges. It's a very quick and simple craft. So you're left with it looking like this. Now you can leave it like that if you'd like, or you can take the next step, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to take my vinyl from a scrap that I have left over, and I'm going to put that up against the edge, and I'm just going to cut a little bit out on the outer side, and I'm left with just a little bit. That will go into my scrap basket again. And then there's this fine little edge along your vinyl. You just want to peel up through there, and then you can grab that edge with your fingers to separate them. And then I save these because I use them to make more scraps. And then just figure out where you want it and just lay it down. Take your burnishing tool, and you're going to do the same way you did the paper, step by step. And it's okay, you can see through it just a little bit on mine, but that's okay. It just gives it more decorative look to it. And then just go through with your scissors and trim the edges. And you can stop here, but I'm going to add more decoration to it because I want to add a rubber stamp that says "Today is calm," and these peel. And a great way, if you're doing rubber stamping and you want to line it up and you want it to be perfectly straight, is to line it up on a mat like this. And then once you get it where you want it, put it in place. Now I'm using black, and I picked this up at a thrift store. It is Memories Dye Ink Pad, acid free, and I paid 50 cents for it, and I've used it quite a bit, going on maybe a year or so now that I've had this one, and I'm just dabbing that down, putting my cover back on. And I'm going to line it up on my grid marks. Take my stamp and just decide where I want it. And then push down. And that's that. Clean my stamps off so the ink doesn't dry on it. I like to add an elastic closure onto mine using grommets. So I have 2 silver ones that I'm going to add to it. And I have 2 grommet presses. This one is fairly new. I got it at Harbor Freight. And this one I picked up at a thrift store for 25 cents. They did not know what it was, and neither did I at the time. But after some research, I figured out what it was. It works great as a hole punch for cardboard. And you just line it up where you want it, and it just punches so perfectly through that hole. And then line it up again on the other side and just push through. And that's it. Just like that, you have holes. And I noticed that my paper left a little bit of edge, but that's okay. So then take your grommets and push them through into your paper, and look how nice that looks. It's so pretty and finished looking. And I line up my edge right here, this piece, with the hole on the grommet, and give it a good squeeze. Now you can see it's sticking out just slightly. So I'm going to go in with my newer one and again line that hole up. And this one I have to use 2 hands because it takes a lot of pressure. The older one doesn't take that much pressure, but it works really well. Now I'm taking a 7-inch elastic that I had cut. It's just a round, thin one. And I'm going to slide one side through that hole, bring it up and around, and then slide it right back through the other hole. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I want to create the knot that's going to hold these together. So you can do a square knot here, but I like to do the slip through. I feel like it gives it a sturdier, so you're going to pull really tight and give that slip through. And you want to make sure that you get both edges, which I just lost mine. Get both edges in through that hole, like that. And then give it a little loosen. And then undo the front and pull that knot through, because you really want that on the inside so that you can slide the back around like that. And that's it. That is the notebook. And like I said, I'm adding these 3 into a gift basket that I am working on that is a rubber ducky themed. So thank you for watching and have a great day.